is there a sort of a sneak peek that hasn't been said yet?
I don't know if it's so clear to you or to the outside world that...
Alright, so welcome. We got Sir Tobi here, the PR manager of Warhorse Studios, the game behind Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Welcome, Sir Tobi, and thank you for joining me. How are you doing, man? How are you?
Well, now that I'm talking to some YouTube star, dude, made
YouTube
my
star.
day.
That's actually crazy. Like, you know, at first, whenever I saw you following me, I was genuinely so surprised because I was like, Sir Tobi, like the PR manager himself of Warhorse. It sounds so, like, I know you're just a person, but at the end of the day, it still sounds legit because I was playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 in 2021 with no prior, like, nobody told me to play it. It wasn't in a moment of hype. It had already been released for 3 years. I just saw it on YouTube, some guy saying it's a game you should play. I downloaded it, and my friend, who's actually a computer engineer, would watch me play the game every night before bed on Discord for like a couple of months, 110 hours straight. And then to this day where we're here, I'm talking to you, and it's just such an honor.
And you know what? I know the story. You know why? Because I'm following your stuff since you had, like, I think it was, you were like around the 600s, or maybe right before 600, something like that. That is when I think when you started with to appear on my radar with your KCD stuff. I think somewhere there, 600, 700, somewhere there.
Yeah.
And from that point on, I watched all your stuff, man. All your KCD stuff, of course. But,
Yeah.
dude, I'm sharing your shit among the team and everyone, so they know you as well. So, you, man. I mean, you have what, 1,000 and something now. So next milestone is 10,000, then 100,000, then you stop knowing me. So
no, I'll never stop knowing you. Good. Honestly, like, this is crazy too, because these are exactly like a lot of people when I talk to them say, bro, why don't you make content on like Call of Duty? Why don't you make content on so many different games that's like popular, one could say, right, in the mainstream world? And I'm like, it's because I love single player games, and especially games like these, but none of my friends, I literally have no personal friend that I know that's played the first game. Now there's like 4 or 5 of them that are probably gonna buy the second one because of me, but other than that, nobody has played. I'm the guy in my group that's playing.
Dude, you have to question your friends from now on, mate. Like, what the fuck? Like, how come they haven't played KCD1?
I don't know, man.
You know, like your mom would tell you, your friends are dragging you down, man. You need to be careful.
I might have one friend, honestly. I can think of him now. Maybe
one. The one good one.
What? It's like 9 p.m. for you now, right?
Yeah, mate. Day is almost over. No, well, it's hard to say. The thing. We are what? Today is exactly 2 weeks before release, so there's no real regular working time anymore. You have the internet flames going on, you have the reviews going on, the previews going on, then you have all those kind of, I don't know what, like
crazy.
Day 1 autograph sessions, and last interview tomorrow. Forbes is coming to the office, so I have daily several different news outlets coming to the office. I had a call today with the Czech television, the public broadcaster, who wants to be at our release party, and they want to do something on day 1 and so on. You know, you need to know, at least here in the Czech Republic, I know that sometimes sounds like I'm exaggerating or being arrogant or whatever, but here in the Czech Republic, KCD is really a huge thing. It's like a national level kind of thing. So imagine God of War or whatever, a new God of War releases, and every single media outlet would talk about it. GTA does that kind of. GTA had that power, but it's like maybe the biggest, or one of the biggest games in the world. But here in the Czech Republic, I mean, even as I said, national broadcaster. There's the official Czech, I don't know how that is called in English, the ones who are actually doing the Czech currency, the money, right?
Yeah.
So they were reaching out to us, like if we want to do some commemorative coin or something.
Oh my god, that would be insane.
It would like
actually
mind-blowing stuff, right? And it's not like we are planning these things. These things are a byproduct of us doing KCD. And I think if that would have been a shooter or any other game, then they wouldn't be as interested. The point is that it talks about Czech history. It talks a lot about Czech culture. So here, many companies and gamers identify with that as like the Czech cultural export, and now everyone in the world will learn about it. So it's a huge thing, and it's well, nerve-wracking in a way because you have like the extra pressure and shit and
Sure.
so on. But on the other hand, it's really amazing. If like the mayor of Kuttenberg, right, the town where
Yeah.
that will be heavily featured in KCD2, when he found out that KCD2 will take place in Kuttenberg, well, he found out because we told him, we were asking, hey, can we do some research and whatnot,
Yeah.
and see your archives and I don't know what. He was absolutely shitting kittens. Because he was like, he was a game, or he is a gamer, and he knew about the first game, and then he knows what the first game did for the region it takes place in. Now the region is really some backwater, middle of nowhere countryside.
Yeah.
So instead of 5 tourists a year, they had 500 tourists, and for them it was like, what do we do with so many people? But Kutna Hora is like a tourist place, and they're ready for everything. And he was like, they're now official, they're now preparing like an official guided tour, and the restaurants are preparing, and all the little shops. Today there was imagine that today a paper company, and not Dunder Mifflin or something like that, but like a really small paper company that is selling, I don't know what, guidance for origami or something. I have no idea what they're selling. They were reaching out like, excuse me, so this video game thing, people are asking if we have some paper merchandise or whatever. Can we do something together? It's like,
that's crazy.
I
Like,
have so many requests about these things. I can't take care of those. It's like,
that's actually so crazy because the fact that there's so many like official, like a city, a town, the money company, Forbes, all of these things happening, it just shows how much like the work that you guys have put in actually has paid off. And the game is not even out yet, the second one. That's what I like. That's what really baffles my mind, is that the first game's out. It was really good. I loved it. But at the same time, it sold 8 million copies. Very good thing, right? But then on top of that, just the hype and the trailers of the second game has already produced all this. You know, I have fans that like they DM me and they write in my YouTube comments. They're telling me, "Oh, I'm gonna go visit Kutna Hora this weekend. I can send you videos." And I'm like, the game's not even out yet. They're already getting tourists. Like they're getting people to go visit.
But you know why that is? I think because you need to know. With the first game, we were like some like, I don't know, hillbilly developers working on the first game kind of thing, trying everything, like big promises and whatnot, and Kickstarter and I don't know what. And the campaign was 4 years long because we thought that we thought we will release Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 or KCD in 3 acts, like Act 1, 2, 3, and the first would release in 2015, the next in 16, the third in 17.
But that would have been the one game?
Yes, exactly. They were supposed to be like 20 hours each or something like that, and then while developing, we quickly found out that it doesn't make sense to do cuts there. It would be like too much of a hassle. So Act 1 and 2 is like KCD1 in a sense, and Act 2 and 3 are KCD2. But what I'm trying to say is that for the success came as a surprise, honestly. I can remember it was like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course we were trusting the product. Of course we were pissing so much against the wind that it must really pay off. Otherwise,
hard work.
On the other hand, there were so many sink and swim situations. First of all, the Kickstarter, if that would have failed, then we would never ever start even working on that. Then the release, if that would have failed, then there would never have been any DLCs or something like that. So it's tricky, but I can remember the like it was a few weeks before the release of KCD1, and we were driving with CO and I, we were driving to Munich. That's where our publisher was sitting back in the days, and we had like some early meeting or last meeting or something like that.
Yeah.
And we were talking like Martin and I were like, okay, so 1 million copies, that would be amazing. When do you think we will reach that? And can't remember. I think he said like half a year, and I said, oh, I don't know, maybe a bit more. It's really difficult to say, blah blah. And none of us guessed it will take a week or so, and in the first year we had, or a month or something like that. In the first year we had already 2 millions.
Oh my
So
god.
as I said, it came as a surprise. But now that those companies and like gamers and everyone here in the Czech Republic know that KCD was a success and what it stands for and what the idea and premise of the game is. Now they have a much clearer idea what to expect, and therefore the hype is so real because
Yeah.
they now see the trailers and they see that there's
It's
much
real
more
now.
energy. Yeah, there's, of course it's real, but they see the production value is much higher. There's the graphics are better, everything is better about it, and so
Well, that matters
naturally
honestly, because
they're hyped.
there's people that'll play games that are any quality, whatever, they won't care. But most people, whenever you show them a game, first thing they see and first thing they think about is actually that. It's immediately, okay, does it look good? Does it play good? Does it feel modern in a sense, like play wise? And you guys have achieved that, I'm sure. I haven't played it, but I'm sure, like from what I see in the videos, it really looks like that. Even the bow, I was so shit with the bow. But I see it now. It's like it's actually like kind of straight, and yeah, it requires skill somewhat, but it seems a lot more doable for easier like getting
Yeah.
used to it. You know, I
Yeah, man.
actually had a couple of questions for you because I wanted to ask stuff that I actually cared to know genuinely, and also that some people like that I know care. That have asked me
Yeah.
in the comments, and I've said, I don't know, guys. Like, maybe one day I'll ask him. Well, here we are. So I had a couple of questions for you, and the first one that was genuinely interesting for me, it's what was like aspect where in the development, because I know you're the PR manager, right? But you do like dabble kind of in everything. So from the development, from the development standpoint, what was like a little bit more unexpectedly challenging in KCD2 compared to 1 whenever you guys were just starting out? But like now with the experience, something you might have not expected to be this challenging, but that was. Is there anything like that?
Yes, I wouldn't say it was unexpected challenging in a way that we thought it will be a piece of cake and then it became a super hard thing to do. I think we generally expanded on absolutely everything, and there's like two aspects to it, right? When you're developing the game, any game. On one hand, you can measure quality by the amount of content that's inside the game. So the more stuff is in the game, the better. That's one part. And the other part of the other philosophy would be that the things that are in the game, that they feel and play as smooth and as bug free and as smooth as possible. So now in KCD1 we were more on the side of put as much stuff inside as we can, and then we figured out now we don't have enough time to fix it and make it smooth and make it run nice and everything. So it released in a relatively buggy state. This time around we said, of course, it's an not an expansion, it's a sequel, so it must of course have new content, but we put much more effort on the other side, on the polishing, finishing, making this experience smooth kinda philosophy. That's why we also released the review or preview codes a month before release. I think that's relatively unique. It was not surprising in the sense, but the hard part is to convince people inside the studio, especially artists and creative people, to stop the work, because they will forever say, if we add this particular mini feature, then the experience will be 1,000 times better. But now we have to add this little voice line. We need to re-record this because it will be 1,000 times better. And accepting this part where you have to say, no, it will not. And even if it will make the game better, we should not focus on that. We must focus on the things that are in the game already, and they must be absolutely super extremely polished.
Yes.
So I think that was a very hard thing to realize for many people in the office, to be able to actually accept that, okay, enough is enough, and now we have to prepare the review codes or whatever. On the other hand, we had many, so the other way around happened quite often, where we thought something is impossible or extremely hard or will never happen, and then we figured out, eureka, it works actually. And I think the console performance would be the best example, because for the longest time we were actually convinced that we will have to lock the frame on 30 frames per second, simply because we decided, or development decided, that it's better to have steady 30 frames than jumping 45 up and down, going up and down, because you realize that something is off way more if it jumps up and down rather than if you have locked steady 30. But then at some point the programmers, and they are like everyone in the studio of course very skilled, but the programmers especially here in this particular part, because you have to consider that you have the different hardwares than the Xbox Series S, X, PlayStation regular, PlayStation Pro, and so on. So at some point they had this breakthrough moment and were able to actually get some black magic happen.
Yeah, that's actually crazy.
We have the situation where we have a performance and a quality mode, and it runs absolutely amazingly, sorry, not awfully, amazingly steady on all platforms, even on the Steam Deck, which is something that no one expected before. So, and if you have the VRR display and the PlayStation 5 Pro, then you can even run faster than 60 frames. And as I said, that is something that we did not expect. So I think the performance is something where we were, well, surprise is a weird word, but
I mean, no, it makes sense,
we were
though.
extremely happy that we made this big progresses there.
Yeah, well, I know you can't say it, like, that you were surprised, because it's
I
like
can
your
say
team.
everything, but I don't know if I will say it.
Yeah, exactly. But I'll tell you, I was surprised in a sense, because a lot of, like, not just Warhorse or Kingdom Come, a lot of games are bad on console versus the PC. I've played, like, just, I know this is an older game, but I don't know if you know about Bloodborne. I actually have the guy there. Yeah, like they have never made the PC version, and the only way you can play it, even on PS5, is a PS4 version, and it's locked at like 30 frames. And most games nowadays, there's always that one guy with the PC that has it smooth, and every console player kind of takes the hit. But from what I saw in every video people said that it's surprisingly good on console. That's a big achievement, because a lot of people don't have PCs. A lot of people just have a PS5 and that's it. Like that's their gaming console. So they have a chance to actually play and enjoy the game the way it was meant to be.
Agree. I saw some, I mean, it was not allowed, so previewers who made it, shame on you, but on the other hand, whatever, because it actually was some good videos. Someone did already platform comparison between the different versions, the different consoles and the PC version. And so for me, that was also the first time where I saw them all in one video next to each other. And yeah, I'm really happy about this. This is something, you know, when I showed the game for the first time to press, that was in it was before game, I think it was July 24, somewhere there. That was the first time when I did the world exclusive preview for selected press. And by that time, I was showing them 4 hours of gameplay. They played round about 3 hours of the beginning and round about 1 hour from Kuttenberg. So already the big town, many NPCs, all with the daily cycles and whatnot. And by that time, the game, so in July or July 24, it ran better already than KCD1 on release. So we knew, okay, but at the same time, at that point, we were not sure yet about the, we were not sure yet about the console versions if they will hit the 60. So it's from that point, what I'm trying to say is that from that point, performance got even better, obviously, but it was very good already there.
Yeah, it starts off at a good pace, and it's only up from here. Like that's really good. Like that.
We must be also honest, and we shouldn't have any illusions here. So of course there will be bugs in the games. This is almost unavoidable. You have to consider that this is a So I'm talking to press right now, right? So sometimes they're telling me already, hey, here I have a good feeling about it, and the score will be nice. They will not tell me yet, but thumbs up and stuff. And I ask them always, hey, and how long did you take to finish the game? And most of them said 90, which leads me 90 hours, which leads me to believe that the base game, because they don't play the DLCs yet, is somewhat between 80 to 100 hours if you are a reviewer who's trying to do it.
Yeah.
A bit of everything. They will not do 100%, I'm sure. They will just finish the game in one run and Yeah, but so in other words, it will be. I'm strongly convinced that you will need 90 hours to finish the game, somewhere between 80 and 100.
Well, look, the
Which
first game
means,
took me 110, so.
yeah, well, if you start to look, and especially if you're roaming around and just want to enjoy the countryside and whatnot, then the sky's the limit. You can there's weirdos with over 1,000 hours in KCD1. So explain me that, please.
I
Yeah,
know.
I have no idea how that.
I
But
made a
hey, be
video
my
on
guest.
that yesterday on TikTok. I made a video because of them.
Yeah, there you go. But now I forgot what I wanted to say. Yeah, what? So since it's that big of a game, it's a huge ass open world RPG with hundreds of NPCs only in Gutenberg. But then you have all the NPCs around. None of them is despawned. All of them, or most of them, is like steadily all the time on the maps. They're living somewhere. They're having their daily cycles and routines. And I don't know what I'm trying to say is, of course, there will be bugs and there might be visual glitches here and there. But we are trying extremely hard to at least get rid of those that really F up your game and that make you angry and whatnot. They're stopping progress or something like that. On the good side, most quests are solvable in different ways. So if any is not working, try another one. But we will, of course, make it as smooth as possible on the day of release. But of course, we'll then fix and patch whatever comes up.
Yeah. It's honestly, it's expected. It's as you said. Everything you said kind of answered every question I had about the whole development process. You answered it so well. For me, you know, because I'm a person who I've played the first game, but I have some people who haven't, and they want to play the second game. And now, as you just said, it's a huge game, so for them, it's kind of like an investment. You know, it's like I'm gonna have fun with this game, but at the same time, the game has to provide me the fun. What's like how does KCD2? Because I know how it feels. I'm playing it right now too. But how does it feel for people who have never played the first game? Like, because I know I've seen in some videos you guys have said that you can play from the second one, just watch like a recap, and supposedly there will be a recap, I think, of the first one quick. But if somebody hasn't played the first game and they want to play the second game, is it still okay, or should they just kind of wait a bit?
I'm 110% convinced that you absolutely do not need to know KCD1 at all. You need to know that it's a game about knights and castles and that it's an open world RPG. That's the only thing you need to know when you fire up the game. We kept in mind that the first game released in 2018. Now, it would be really foolish to believe that everyone remembers KCD1. It's 7 years ago. Not everyone played it recently. They might have played it on release and then never touched it again. So in other words, even those diehard community fans might have already forgotten who is Istvan Toth, who's Eric, who's your real father, and so on, right? And so we had to do some kind of like recap or reminder or something anyway. So we were thinking, hey, we need to develop the game in a way so that people who played the first game, or people that recently played the first game, or that are just playing it right now and then starting KCD2, that they don't feel annoyed or bored because like, yeah, I know the shit already. This should not happen. You should feel right at home and just continue the story, and I'm back again.
Yeah.
And people who didn't play the first game, they should at least know who you are. Who's Hans Capen? That's what we tell you. You get a quest. This is a letter. We have to bring it to that castle, and all the rest will come either in flashbacks or in dialogues, or will slowly but steadily brought to you. There's a reason why Henry loses his skills, or not loses them, but needs to hone them again.
Yeah.
And we will slowly tell everyone. In KCD1, I saw very often back in the days, like the big streamers, especially from the US or North America, they played the first game, got beaten up by Kunesh, first drunk fight in the village, and they said, oh, way too hard, way too hardcore, I don't like it, I don't play it. Or they were killed by the first humans they met. The point of that game was, or the idea was that you get beaten up, that you cannot fight the army, and that you have to run away. But that was such a concept, not understandable for many people, that they just said, okay, well, it's too hard.
I'll gladly say, by the way, I think Kingdom Come Deliverance is the only game that I've ever played that is real, in a sense, as a concept to that level. in any other game ever I've played, there's never been a moment where I legit get beaten up unless it's just like a quick cutscene. Like it's a
What do you mean by real? Are you often getting beaten up by drunk villagers or something?
no, I win. I'm strong. I'm strong. No, but like really though, think about it. Why would Henry win? Like it's true.
Yeah.
Why would he just go and kill everyone? Even before it happens, it's kind of like a foreshadowed when he tries to swing the sword and then it misses and hits the floor instead of the little stick coming out. It's foreshadowed, but people don't think of it because when they play a game, like, it's a video game. I'll go beat up the bad guys. But it's like that's not how it works, and that's why it's beautiful. You know?
Yeah. I think it's different. Definitely, you are not when you're coming into a village. You're not the Dragonborn. You're not the chosen one. They will all treat you like a piece of shit. And the moment in KCD1, when they start not treating you like a piece of shit, when you start to actually be able to fight back, the game ends.
I mean, honestly, when you can do
that
that master strike with every weapon, it just that's it. But question with that, because you said exactly, it's not Dragonborn, it's not this, it's not that. Another question that I had is historical accuracy and realism.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's like fun game, like what's it called? Like a truck driving simulator realism, and then arcade game. How do you merge that in especially because you're in the domain of like, if somebody says what type of game is it, right? You say, medieval RPG. People immediately assume dragons, witches, and magic. How did this even happen where zero magic, zero, like, it's still somewhat like based on reality, but it's still fun. Like, how do you merge those two together?
I mean, I think you answered it already. So first of all, no one did it before, so that's reason number one. There's a hole in the market in a sense. But here in Czech Republic, the Middle Ages are ever present. You see them in every village. In the every lore and children's history book is about knights and castles and whatnot. This is like it's ever. It is a huge part of the identity of the people here, and and history generally is pretty interesting for most of the parts, and there's still many stuff you can learn from it. And we were thinking that, hey, how about we tell a story that actually happened? I personally, I'm a huge fan of when I watch a movie and it says based on real events or something like that. I'm immediately 110% in.
Yeah, me too.
But we just said, hey, everyone show, well, as you said, castles and knights and whatnot and sword fighting are popular. People like it, but no one tried to show how it actually looked like or how it could have looked like. Now, the balance thing is very important because we are definitely not making 100%. This is exactly how it was. Real thingy. It's just a video game and it stays just a video game. However, we are trying really hard, at least to the things that we are depicting, to make it authentic, feel realistic, immersive, and so on. So instead of, I don't know, made up villages and story, we are taking historical events that really happened. You as a character, you are fictional, so you cannot change history. You can be part of it. You can see it with your own eyes and influence it and stuff, whatnot. We, at the end of the day, we have a full-time historian in the team, so she's reaching out and venturing out into the world and getting all the information and try to double-check the facts. She's part of the writing team as well, also of the concept team, so she's there when they're coming up with ideas about the story, what could have happened, how would that play off. She's then giving the feedback, hey, you can't do that. Then there's this that fight they have every day where this is how historically is how it was, this is how a video game would work, and now we have to merge these things and make sure that it's fun and engaging as a video game, but is based on real elements. And at the end of the day, I think it's yet again one of the closest games you can get to have like at least a little bit of a idea of how the Middle Ages could have looked like. And as I said, we're not saying this is exactly 100% true, that's exactly how it was, but at least it might inspire you and to go and fact check us. That's fine. Go out there, check it for yourself, read into the stuff. But it's a deep rabbit hole because everyone is saying everyone have different ideas and different truths and different theories and whatnot. So this is our
I mean,
interpretation
you
in a
guys
way.
by yourselves also provide history in the game, in the codex. Like, if I were to
Yep.
spend like my time reading that, I'd be on it for a week, I think, just studying history in game. Literally in
Yeah.
game, you can study history, and that's so insane to think that you guys care so much. You know, a lot of people put codexes, but most of the time it's just fun, made up stuff. Like, what's a gargoyle do? You know, but in this game, it's legit. It's straight up. Um,
Yeah, it's the condensed work of the historian, of course, made digestible and short and everything, but it's yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna
it's
ask you like what was the challenge of promoting a game with no magic, but then again I thought like there's no challenge. It promoted itself kind of like
oh, there
that
was
was
a huge challenge, especially in the United States. So,
true, true,
I
true,
mean,
true.
I'm with the team since 2014, right? And I
Yeah.
figured out really quickly that not every word and marketing thing or idea or feature resonates the same in all the countries. What I'm trying to say is that in Germany and Czech Republic, for instance, or France to some extent as well, when we are pushing, this is based on real history and real events, and there's King of Bohemia, King of Hungary, and everyone understood what we are talking about because it's all part of a
Yeah.
common shared history in a way. When I was in the United States for the first time on E3 in 2000, no, I don't know, 14 or 15, I can't remember anymore. One of those, maybe 15. I was trying the same, starting about the King of Hungary and King of Bohemia, and I saw in the eyes of the people, they were looking at me like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? I have absolutely no idea what you're telling me. They're like, well, Hungary, I'm not hungry. What are you talking
Oh
about?
my god, they're brain dead.
And there was the point where I said, okay, and I'm not blaming anyone, of course not. It's just not part of your heritage. So you, of course, are not in contact with that daily. So where should you know that from? You are, I don't know, closer to the Civil War, and I don't know anything about it because we don't talk much about it here because it's not so important for us here over on the other side of the planet in this sense.
Yeah.
So I had to come up with something else. So what I was of course promoting way more the sword fighting, and you feel the heat, and you can, I don't know, cool action and so on. So, but yeah, with the journalists it worked, or with the fans and the community, but because they found their way and they understood it then
Yeah.
relatively quickly. No name dropping, but just like it's an RPG with knights and castles, great.
Yeah.
But the publishers and the investors and these kind of things, way earlier before we were even on Kickstarter, they were like, oh, I don't know, I don't know. Can't you add a dragon or something? Why there's no magic or magic works? And then it was even so when we pitched this, as I said, in like 2011 or 12 or whatever to publishers all around the world, like everywhere really. There was the time before PS4 was out, and there was the time where they were like, consoles are dead and no one will play, and single player games are also dead, and no, this will not sell anything. And by that time, I don't know how old you are, but by that time there was Zynga on Facebook, and Zynga is a company that made, for instance, poker games and like Facebook
Okay,
games,
okay,
right?
yeah.
And they were like extremely popular by that time, and people, those publishers were, yeah, great game. Is this playable on Facebook as well? And
Oh
we're
my
like, dude,
god.
it's like a huge. We're working on a single player RPG here. Like, what the heck? So
Wait, that
yeah,
was in
long story short,
2011 too
no
though.
one trusted in that. No one trusted it. The only people who trusted in that were the Kickstarter people. And then when the success came with the successful Kickstarter, then it
Yeah.
like
But
became more popular among the broader audience and so on. And it took us 4 years to release the game. So I made sure everyone knows about it, but everyone is relative because if you
yeah.
like, yeah,
But
but more people could have known about it.
one thing that surprises me though is that okay, 2011 they were saying that around those years, but that's literally when Skyrim came out. How and God of War came out. No, God of War came out in 2018. But like still, like there were huge games, and there was I think Bloodborne 2. Like there were so many games. These people probably just saw like a new wave emerging, and they just didn't kind of like put it together.
Dude,
It was
I
gonna work.
think they just saw some hillbilly developers from who knows where, Czech Republic. What's that? Probably a Russian country, and they said, "Yeah, well, whatever." So yeah, I have no idea. So
Uh, look, I don't
But it
want
doesn't
to.
matter because I'm the kind of guy who says one door closes, that means another one opens. So if these things wouldn't have happened back in the days, we wouldn't be talking to each other today,
True,
probably. So
exactly.
yeah,
That's
right.
that ripple effect, whatever. Like how
Yeah.
everything affects everything, and this changes that. Look, you're completely right, and I'm so happy that you're here, and that in general you guys are here. I'm so like happy of all of this. This is like, for me, it's like forget about just YouTube videos and just this and success and
Mhm.
whatnot. Like in my opinion, this game actually brings out the part of me that when I was a kid and I was playing games and I felt a certain way, this is one of those games. It's not just about the
Yeah.
challenge, it's not just about loot or rank or whatever. It's genuinely immersion to the fullest. And there it is. I'm so happy about that. Uh,
Yeah.
quick question: was there going to be a hardcore mode? But I know not. I've heard not at
For
release, but in
when?
general.
For KCD2?
Yeah.
Of course, dude. You're not checking the news. We just released our DLC plan,
Yo,
like what,
wait,
an
wait, wait,
hour
wait.
ago or so.
Wait. If you're talking about, bro,
Dude. What's with your reactions video, bro?
I have to look. In my watched later, the
Yeah.
first video I
There
was
you
gonna
go.
watch. I was gonna watch it. I was gonna react to it on YouTube, but it's just,
Okay. Okay,
it's
then no
because.
spoilers then, okay?
All right,
No
fine.
spoiler. I want to see your reaction video.
Oh, shit.
I told you, dude, I'm watching all your KCD stuff, like every single one of them. So
All right, all
I
right.
need my fix, mate.
I'm going to react to them. And
Great.
I don't want to take too much of your time because it's already like late
Yeah.
for you. But last question, okay? And this is feel completely free to answer or not answer, non-spoiler at all, okay? Final
Okay.
question. Is there a sort of a sneak peek that hasn't been said yet that you wouldn't mind dropping here? Like as in character, path, I wrote here like a new feature, vague details, storyline, not story, sorry. Vague details that wouldn't like, you know, affect it greatly, but something
I
that
don't
you
know if
haven't
it's
really said.
so from what you are talking and how you are reacting to the videos and everything, I don't know if it's so clear to you or to the outside world that in KCD1, Henry for the most of the time was dealing with the problems himself. He was alone, he's doing like low-level problems for some low-level nobles, dealing with bandits and whatnot. Now in KCD2, he's on the bigger stages. He will get in contact with a big with bigger nobility. He will meet kings, he will be on royal courts, he will be in huge war camps. So shit is really starting to be real in KCD2. But what people maybe haven't comprehended yet or understood yet is that Henry, as I said, was doing most of the stuff alone, and he still has his big goals of revenge and everything. He will super quickly realize that he can't do the shit himself, and then he needs friends, and then he needs a crew. So in KCD2, Henry will become part of this guerrilla warfare. Let's call them gang, right? This group of misfits. Think of it like Inglorious Bastards or Ocean's 11 or something like that. All of those people are kind of bad in a sense, in a way, but together they're fighting what they believe is the greater good, right?
Kind of.
They are drunkards, they're funny, they have this like this great relation among them, and this will create a lot of very interesting and very funny stories. But then it twists into this. But actually, this is a really serious war situation here, and we still have to do shit and so on. So imagine if you want to compare it to a different game, maybe something like Red Dead Redemption, right? With the camp situation,
Okay, I get
yeah.
it. Yeah.
So maybe that is something that is not so. I haven't seen so many people talking about that or realizing that this is a situation and that you will be part of this big group. It's not like you're telling, hey, you come with. You don't have companions like you come with me, and so they will much more like Red Dead Redemption. They will go on quests with you, every single one of them. But the driving force and the circumstances and the group mentality and feeling will be much broader and much more epic and grandeur, and you will meet so many interesting characters, which I think is generally really cool.
That's insane. I'm happy you actually. It's true. I'm happy you pointed that out because you are right. I hadn't thought of that, And this is now putting me in a speculating mindset so much.
There you go.
Wow, it's still 2 weeks away. That's how I'm seeing it. It's not only, it's still 2 weeks away around. Like, it's too long for me.
And you were talking about immersion and stuff. So my question is for you then: when do you pack your shit and your camera and whatnot and travel to the Czech Republic? There's good flight connections. It's easy. Prague is a tourist city, so everyone flies to Prague. You could actually make a shout out on your videos, and I swear to God, the Czech people and I'm sure there's Czech people among your audience as well. They will be more than happy to show you around. You could check real Kutná Hora. You could check real Trotsky. Trotsky, by the way, means ruins. It's like
Trotsky
the word
ruins.
Trotsky
Okay,
means
okay.
ruins. And the sad part is that the castle is an actual ruin right now.
Okay.
But you could also visit Warhorse Studios and give me a high five. So. But
You know
Czech people are pretty heavy beer drinkers, so I don't know if that is
Maybe.
down your alley.
I'll have to practice my beer drinking before that.
Yeah, but you in North America, you don't know what beer is, so
No, don't worry.
but we can teach you.
My dad used to drink beer all the time, and his favorite one was like I'm not gonna say which country it's from because I don't know, but his favorite ones were Grolsch and Stella Artois and all that stuff. Everything Canadian or American, he did not like. He only liked the stuff that was from Europe. So there it is. So I've tried those.
Then a bit of lore. You know how they call some beer Pilsner type or ever heard that?
Beer
Pilsner
not type?
or Pil? It's a type of beer, and
Okay, no.
Pilsner, I think.
Oh yeah,
Well,
I think
and-
so.
Yeah, and that word Pilsner means from the town of Pilsen, and Pilsen is a town in West Czech Republic. That is where they invented this type of beer, of course, with the help of some Germans, but doesn't matter. That part of history is not so important.
It's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's just Czech Republic could be considered like the motherland of modern beer.
Maybe honestly, maybe this coming summer, I'll try to set that as my goal.
Yeah.
This coming summer,
Good.
visit you guys. Maybe I'll try my best.
Absolutely, be my guest.
Oh, I'd love that so much. Thank you very much for answering all these questions, and this was very fun, very nice having a conversation with you. And yeah, can't wait for the game, man.
Dude, and I can't wait for reaction videos. So go and do them, and I need my fix. I'm walking the dog and watching your videos. So
All right, I'll keep
Dude.
it in mind. Thank you.
take care.
Holy shit, bro, that was crazy. Yo, that was insane. Hey, everybody, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for, like, it's because of the whole community that we're here now. And I'm so glad that I was able to talk to Sir Tobi before the game came out. And I'm so glad that I was able to provide this for you guys. Like, this really means so much to me. This game is amazing. The second one will be amazing. I'm streaming it every day. I will stream the game, the second Kingdom Come Deliverance, when it comes out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below what you thought. And yeah, man, I hope to do more stuff like this in the future, but I can't do it without you guys. So thank you. I appreciate every single one of you. Now that note, Kenat's out. Peace.
You said the game behind Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. The studio behind
Oh,
Kingdom
man.
Come Deliverance 2.